I'm Doug Massey, and back in the day when I used to call, leads to set my own final expense appointments, things were definitely easier in our industry. And in all transparency, the last thing that your current upline is gonna do is admit this, especially if you happen to be working with an agency that specializes in face-to-face sales. Selling final expense on a belly-to-belly basis has changed a lot over the years, but for the right person with the right work ethic and a little bit of talent, face-to-face sales is still doable in several US states. Before we get to it, I want to share with you my appointment setting script, and FYI, this is the exact script that I give to our contracted agents, and the only way I can give this to you is if you email me and request it. And yes, I'm going to give you my email address at the end of the video just for watching this, and I do ask to please smash down on that like button and subscribe if you're a new viewer. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like all the time. Tip number 1, make sure that you have a lot of fresh and exclusive leads like every single week. Direct mail has become, I want to say, harder and harder to generate as time has gone on, and with the cost going up and the quality going down over the years, the return on investment just isn't there the way it was even a few years ago. My recommendation is to find a good internet or Facebook lead vendor who can generate these type of leads for you for maybe around 15 bucks or even less per lead. If you're tech savvy, now, here's something to think about. You should probably consider purchasing one of those fancy Facebook calendar appointment systems and have someone put it onto your computer and your Facebook for you. I speak with a lot of agents every week and have never spoken with anyone who purchased one of those Facebook funnel do-it-yourself training courses and actually made it work the way that it will work if you have somebody with a proven system put it on your computer for you. Yes, this is going to cost thousands of dollars, but for the right person, like I said, a talented sales pro, it is absolutely worth every penny. If you can get at least 50 of these leads each week, then you're on the right track. Trick is to get an appointment from, like, I want to say about 20% of your leads. Now, for me, this is why I would suggest more like maybe 75 to even 100 leads each week. Tip number 2, you want to really work those leads in a manner in which you are like squishing the life out of them. You got to work them hard. First, you need to have at least one full-time phone day every single week. And when I say phone day, I mean you spend the entire day ringing the life out of those leads, like double and triple dialing each lead, and I'm not exaggerating, like maybe 6 to even 10 times per day. Starting early in the morning and working through the afternoon, calling into the early evening, and maybe making your last dials, I want to say, between like 8 or even as late as 9 o'clock at night. Here's your pro tip of the day. Never, ever, ever bring up to the prospect that this is about buying life insurance over the phone. Don't even use the words insurance or life insurance until you're in the house sitting in front of the prospect, especially if you are working a direct mail lead card that doesn't already say the words life insurance on it. A lot of your prospects are gonna say, wait, what is this about? Or is this insurance? Now, when they do that, you need to answer in a way that will not give them buyer's remorse before you even meet with them. And to me, the best way to do this is by using certain keywords. Special plans specifically designed for fixed income and low income recipients. And if you're thinking that that sounds kind of manipulative and vague, guys, you need to remember something really important. Final expense life insurance is not something you sell to wealthy people. It is for people who are on the opposite, a low fixed income, or they just flat out maybe don't make much money, and they don't want their family stuck with the bill, the funeral bill, the burden of paying for all those final expenses. These people are notorious for getting buyer's remorse before they even buy because of their low income level. So they will often try to get rid of you before you even sit down to make your presentation. One of the things that I truly believe in, that I've learned over the years of being one of the highest producing face-to-face final expense agents in the industry, is that a lead is never dead, very important, until the prospect either hands you a check or kicks you out of the house. Remember guys, the lead is only as good as the agent working the lead. You gotta be persistent. Keep in mind, this is not a customer service job. This is a sales career. And so this is where tip number 3 comes in. If the prospect does not take the appointment, or you can, never really get them to answer the phone, right? That's how it is with a lot of these folks. You 100% absolutely must take the lead to the prospect's front door, and yes, door knock that lead. Now, I don't care if it's like an internet lead or a final expense direct mail lead or even a telemarketed lead. You gotta do everything possible to get in front of the prospect. Allow me to make a statement that is super important for your success. Most of your sales as a face-to-face final expense agent will most likely come from the leads that you door knock. Most people will not answer the phone, right? And 1/3 of the leads that do answer the phone won't even take the appointment. Heck, when I first got into the industry, my upline told me not to even bother calling to set an appointment. Just take the lead to the client's house and knock on their door with it. That's not what I'm suggesting here, but that is the truth, and that was years ago. For the folks who you get on the phone and they just won't take the appointment, right? I do suggest giving them maybe a few days to cool down, or even like a week, then take the lead to their front door anyways and door knock it. Look, this isn't so invasive. Very few people will get upset, and you're gonna absolutely 100% end up selling people who have gotten rid of you on the phone. I'm telling you guys, some of my very best sales were from people who were very clear about not wanting me to go to their homes. You're gonna have clients that will thank you for your persistence. Again, this is a sales career, so there will be times when you have to push a little bit. One of the things that I love about final expense telephone sales, and yes, this is where I'm gonna insert my shameless plug, is that with our remote final expense platform, our agents can get like 20 to over 30 appointments every single day. And these are appointments of people who not only set the appointment themselves, but they are expecting a call from you to get a quote for affordable life insurance. So no more driving around, no more calling to set appointments and getting stood up, and no more going into really bad neighborhoods and potentially risking your life. A few years ago, my wife had a gun pulled on her by somebody she had actually set the appointment with. Thankfully, she got out of there safely. For those of you who would like the appointment setting script that I mentioned earlier in the video, and if you ask for this, I'm gonna even throw in my objection script for setting appointments. So now you'll know exactly what to say and do when they don't want to take the appointment. Just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. For those of you who would like more information on our final expense remote telesales platform, the one where you get all the appointments and all the leads, 100% exclusive by people that are expecting to speak with you, just shoot me an email at that same address. Most important, always remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there and do something awesome for somebody today. Happy hunting.